Hi, I'm Clark.
And I'm Lisa, and we're here in Marshall, North Carolina.
We want to show you a guest cottage that we built. I'm basically a builder and an author. I've written a couple books about green building. Green building is sort of a nebulous term. It means a lot of different things to different people. But I think the through line underneath is a desire to be more sustainable. For me, green building is about taking control over your own housing. So it can be a lot cheaper because you'll put in your own labor. This building is a guest house. The idea was to make the smallest building that would have all the comforts of home. There's a couch that turns into a bed, there's a tiny kitchen, there's a little writing desk that then can be moved over to the couch to create a place that our guests can invite us over for a dinner party. It's the only building perhaps in the world that both my mother and mother-in-law want to live in.
The reason we built the cottage together is that we pretty much like to do everything for ourselves that we possibly can.
Lisa and I weren't the only ones involved in this project. My good friend Tim Callahan, an incredible master builder, was involved in every aspect of it.
Clark certainly did the lion's share of the actual work, and I really tried to work with him on a lot of the detailing and structural aspects.
There's probably about 75 distinct materials that make up this cottage. This is called cordwood masonry construction. It's one of the infills we used in this building. This is just poplar lumber from the land here. It's basically firewood. What you do is you cut down some trees, you cut them to length, split them, set them up to dry just like you would firewood. Instead of burning it though, we made a wall out of it. You lay down 2 beds of mortar, and the mortar that we use for this wall has a lot of sand, some soaked sawdust for insulation. It has some hydrated lime and some Portland cement. You lay these 2 beds of mortar down and then fill the space in between with some kind of light, airy material for insulation. All the walls have a different infill material. Everything was carefully thought about to try to demonstrate a different way of doing things. This wall is made out of straw bales. We chose straws for this wall because this is the north side of the building. It's the coldest side. Straw bales are very insulative. What you do is you stack them just like brick. Then we plastered using both an earth plaster and a lime-based plaster. This wall is made out of cob. We're not talking about corn cobs. We're talking about a material that's made of some kind of soil, usually mixed with sand and straw. The English word cob means lump. You form a lump of this stuff and set it down on the wall. This wall is 18 inches thick, so you make a lot of these lumps and set them in the wall. Then you plaster it.
One of the things we took advantage of with the cob wall was the opportunity to create a design of bottles. This is actually the bottom of a giant fruit juice bottle. What these are actually made of are 2 bottles. So the butt of a bottle that you're looking at here, there's actually another one on the other side. So 2 bottles have to fit together. So you've got a long, thin bottle, usually a wine bottle, and then some kind of jar that you can cap the end of it so you just have the butts showing. And then we wrap them with a reflective material and just tape that on there. It's like a light tube.
This building is built on 2 kinds of foundation. Most buildings are on one. What we did here is to use typical concrete block for these footers that carry all the weight through these posts. Picking up the roof, comes all the way down, and bears right here.
This wall is what I call modified stick frame, which is basically the same technique that is used in conventional construction, but we just used a lot less wood because we thought about where to put it. We only put it where it was needed. We have almost 4 feet between our studs, whereas in conventional construction it'd be every 16 inches.
I'm on our living roof. This is a planted roof that we created for this building. All of the plant forms up here are very small, diminutive forms that will, over time, slowly fill and cover the roof. What we had to do in order to create a giant bed for these plants was we had to consider a lot of issues. We have a weight load that's quite tremendous. What we started with was felt or tar paper, which is a conventional material, and then we brought in very thick rubber. That rubber membrane sits between all of this weight of gravel and soil and protects the house from getting wet. Because we built our own house in the same property, we've gotten very involved with the lay of this particular piece of land and overall look and actual lifestyle that we wanted to create for ourselves. And a big piece of what we wanted to create here is a feeling of sanctuary to some degree.
This building took from start to finish about 8 months. The total cost for this cottage was $8,000.
Clark, and I are really into the green building movement. We think it's a wonderful thing for us to be able to take power over the materials we use and the impact we have on our planet. It just seemed like the most natural thing to not only build this building, but to create some sort of book that would make it possible for anybody to get excited about these techniques and actually learn how to do it for themselves.
There are a lot of advantages to green building. If you do it right, you come out feeling better about yourself because what you're trying to do is build in a way that has less of a detrimental effect to the environment. A well-designed green building is going to be very energy efficient, which means you're going to spend less to heat or cool it. Green building to me, again, is about getting personally involved so that the thing you build is going to have a lot more to do with you. So you're going to love it. If you build a building that you love enough to stay there for a long period of time, then you're going to reap the benefits over 30 or 40 years and really make something that's wonderful.